Hey, what's up guys? Palidore here. Just letting anyone know who's watching the stream or waiting for this match to start. Just organizing some invites, and I believe there's also a league sub situation being looked at potentially, so a little bit of a delayed start here on this match. But do stay tuned, we'll have the next match for you soon. Just the same, don't you worry. And we'll have more soon as well on VRML 1, so you got your options. But sit tight, and I'll be right with you. Me and Doc here. All right, well, hello everyone. We got a quick start and a quick save here. Sorry for the little bit of delay. Teams actually did ready up before we gave them the ping, but that's okay. I'm not mad about it. We're back into the game, and really, I'm actually not. We have Plague and Team Underground here. Happy to get this game going for us, of course, because we want to stream as many teams as we can here in the season. That is my goal for this second cycle especially, so I'm doing just that. We're doing just that. They got the score, and how about that? 2 points Mimsy's way, so you didn't miss all too much. On the stream end of things, I'm Palidore. We'll be joined by DocEducation here, hopefully shortly, just trying to get Doc into the game as well. But yeah, a little bit of uncertainty about this match in terms of possible subs and what have you. And then as well as just getting into the game itself, so... There are questions, but alas, we are into the game, and that's what matters here. So anyone who's joining us here, thank you very much for doing so. I know we had that master match, Skyline and Austin Burners just a while ago on VRML 1. We'll have some more really high caliber matches as well on both Channel 2 and Channel 1 this evening. So, as always, whoever you are, wherever you are, you're in the right place, the right time, even if the time was a little bit delayed. But the beauties of having such an expansive league, 400 teams deep now in this season, and Zuko on this approach will make a goal. No, being denied, but the second time around. Everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. And I do want to point out, this is 2 matches in a row. For last match, I had Sokka playing on one of the teams. This match, I have Zuko playing. I couldn't be happier. one of my personal favorite shows, at least, of all time. So, this works. This works for me. And yes, you did see it right. We are in a 3v3, it looks like, because of those sub-situations. But, hey, we get that old-school Echo sometimes now and then. That's how Echo used to be, and that's how it is right now as a shot is made behind the back style. Mimsy saving it on the way in, but still counting the opposite direction, it seems. Again, steezy with it, I suppose. Welcome, though, to the chat. Anyone who is watching here today on Channel 2, we got... the Ninja Zero, Lavish, and Stellar. Sorry for technical issues, Pally and Doc. Yeah, no worries. It happens to the best of us, and players and casters alike. As we see right now, right? So, not a worry in the world. But that said, Zuko, also not a worry in the world. They've got all the scores in the world, at least 6 of them. And Plague right back on the menu. Not something I want to eat. But nonetheless, 6-2.
Palidore, when you played, you were playing mostly in the 3v3. So what can you tell us about the different strategy that these teams might want to incorporate here?
Well, everything in 3v3 is a bit slower, slower paced, and obviously because you don't have that potential for the double stack metas that we see so prominent these days in 4v4. So sometimes we do actually see in these 3v3 games or the 3v4 games, it will throw off some teams because they don't exactly know, they're not as used to that style of play and pace. In 3v3, if one player gets stranded on your team somewhere on the floor, that really, really gimps your efforts on really either end. Kind of get stuck out on an island, so it's definitely a case where you gotta be a bit closer with your other 2 teammates, making sure you don't get split up too far apart. And furthermore, when you are on offense, like this right now, just knowing how to space out and stall at some junctures, because stall meta in 3v3 is even stronger. So yeah, it's kind of a case of that. They're going to wind it into the goal here as will be faults with a fault on the shot. Are you in, Doc, or?
I am, yes.
Oh, okay, so I will hand it off to you now properly.
That's a shot. Goes a little bit wide and going to lose it. So now moving in faults just with the clear.
All right, taken in the trap by Zuko. 2 in that trap trying to defend, and 1 back in the goal will be Eric with the disc and sending it clear ways into an interception by Zuko.
Zuko now with the disc, as you mentioned, Palidore, just a lot of space. Oh, what a duck! What a duck on 999. And now moving in with plenty of space to operate, stopping on the post, but beautiful pass to Mimsy. Mimsy doing some styling, but yeah, getting stuffed, and now it's cleared back toward the mid.
Yeah, maybe a little too much styling, although they do get the disc back. So on that note, we'll open up a goal opportunity, but not there quite on the conversion. Took a awkward bounce into a rebound now from 9. But now an interception from Penguin. And Penguin Icy taking that away, sending it clear into Mimsy. This could be a 2-on-1 opportunity here, Doc. And oh, the stun may just guarantee indeed Mimsy for the 8-2 score.
Yeah, nice stun out, easy finish. A little bit of fun by Mimsy hanging on the rim there. So yeah, giving the crowd a little something to cheer for.
Yeah, of course. And I like the patience there from Mimsy, recognizing, again, the situation, right, with 3v3. Even on those bubble drives, a lot of the time you're going to have much more space than you're used to working it into your offense. So just took the extra time to find the dunk, just like 999 does right here.
I wonder, Palidore, like when I play in a 2-on-2, like in a drill situation, I really have found that regrabbing and like dribbling is highly effective. Do you think that's the same? I mean, obviously, that was Underground using the dribble very effectively there to score. Does that work in the 3-on-3 as well?
Yeah, in fact, it's probably conducive to 3v3 if nothing else, because a bit risky in the 4v4 situations when you do those dribble plays. Some teams are excellent at it, but at the same time, if you mess it up, and you're much more likely to mess it up when there are more bodies on the floor. And when you do mess it up, you're usually exposed for a 3 on the other end with these double stack metas these days. As a goal is made there by Zuko. So they'll get it done there. 10-4, quite efficient scoring. And just to cap off the thought, though, I think, Doc, with the more space you have offered to make those dribble plays, even if you do mess up, in theory, you can still have more time to actually get the disc back regardless. So would be a smart thing to do. That's a good point you bring up.
Well, let's see Underground on their joust. They dribbled before. It looks like they attempted it, but got broken up a little bit. Mimsy in the perfect area, and the goal is open. So, oh, hey, Penguin Nicey being maybe not so nice to the teammate, stealing the 3 there, but having a little bit of fun. Hope it doesn't come back to bite him. But for now, Plague absolutely in the lead.
Yeah, Penguin icing out the teammate, it seems like, there on those 3s, but they're feeling confident enough in their lead that it may not matter for this particular round, although yet to be determined. We still have a couple minutes left and a timeout initiated to maybe discuss, delay, or maybe find some subs, either or. We got some time to expend here.
Well, my team recently played a 3v3 as a warm-up, and I was absolutely, completely lost. It was amazing to me how much the game changed without.
Yeah.
I mean, I think of regrabbing so much. I think of speed. Like when I think of any sport, I think about speed and the ability to move to the point of action and really take advantage of space. And so I think regrabbing is an incredible mechanic for doing that. And of course, when you're in a 4v4, you always have 2 stacks, and just getting lost in, okay, so what do I do if I'm not in a stack and the stack is zooming and I'm, just getting left behind? Or, how do we move forward? Should we even be regrabbing, or is that always leaving someone behind and, not bringing them together? Should we be more like slow passing meta? Like, I couldn't wrap my head around it.
Yeah, it's a very different game for sure. I think, if nothing else, one of the longer term ideas, and I think this might not even occur until Echo has a sequel of sorts, or it kind of expands a bit the arena, but I'm thinking even in the future 5v5 would be an interesting thing to trend towards. I do think the arena would need to be bigger to accommodate it by a little bit, so that hence why I say maybe a sequel where similar or same kind of arena, but just scaled up a little extra. But I don't know, that's just my idea, because with each added player, you do add some more intricacy into the mix, but at the same time, more potential for some incredibly interesting plays on both ends of the floor there. And you know me, Doc, I always make the basketball comparison, so that's why that's why my head goes to the 5v5 of sorts, but definitely more of a long-term kind of thing, not now.
It totally opens up really interesting ideas. I mean, even in the master tier, I've been noticing, that there are some teams that tend to hold a player back, not really in a perma-goalie situation, but deep, on their own bow tie, for example, even in the master tier. And with a 5-on-5, that becomes even a little more possible to have either a kind of permanent, more defensive-minded player, or a permanent mid-minded player, or even a more permanent offensive-minded player. I mean, yeah, the meta options kind of really permutate.
Yeah, and they do, and that's the beauty of Echo Arena and sports in general, really, because the whole thing about a game like Echo Arena, or basketball, or football, or hockey, or soccer, or anything, right? It's all so simple on paper. That's the greatest thing about it. I mean, it's so easy to comprehend and understand. You have two teams, you have a goal on either side, and you have a ball or a disc-like object in this case. So, yeah, two teams, put ball in goal, put ball in hole. That is basically all sports just about in a nutshell. And yet, it's infinitely complex. No match is ever exactly the same. So that's why it's infinitely entertaining. That's also why I think it'll be here for a very, very long time to come.
Simple to learn, impossible to master. Those are the best games in my opinion, as well as these two teams are back at it. And Team Underground still down by 8, so it's going to be a tough uphill road for them. Although, of course, we always talk about momentum and, of course, just figuring out what's working. You can. The way I think about the end of a game is, what's working? Can we apply a strategy? Oh, Penguin, icy. Put in the ice. That'll certainly close this round for Plague.
Yeah, despite the timeout, looks like did not stop them whatsoever. Continuing to fire off here with 14-4 on the board, 10-point advantage. See Moogle on the chat. Welcome to it again. Always love saying her name. And I have to say it that way, make no mistake. Solo as well, and Newton Dad, welcome to the stream, and welcome that there 3 for Zuko, once again attacking and pressing their advantage even higher.
Fire Nation indeed. That was absolutely on fire with the regrab and the steal. Palidore getting a great angle on this shot. Boom, right in the goal. Zuko putting 3 more on the board. And Team Underground, let's see if they continue their regrabbing or their dribbling. They do not. Sending it down low. I thought the dribbling was working for them, but you know what? That works too.
Yeah.
Vaults VR with the deep assist. So Underground not giving it up, and maybe find something that'll work going into round 2.
Yeah, and anything you can get in the latter parts of a round when you are down, it'll still help going into the rest of the game. Newton Dad saying, yeah, this was my era's game, I suppose, when Echo, because a lot of people now in Echo, most people here only arrived in Echo in the last year or two, so a lot might not know that Echo Arena, for the first, but 2.5 years at least of action, both pubs and competitive play in Echo, was 3v3. It wasn't really until VRML came into the mix, and towards the end of Pizza League as well, back in 2019, but it was 2019, in that summer and fall, when things started shifting over into this 4v4 style of gameplay. And haven't looked back since. It's been so fun to watch, and it's really opened up the dynamicism for Echo Arena.
I love it. I mean, you talked about the need for a bigger arena for a 5v5. I fully agree. I've played in some 5v5 matches, and while it is fun, it is absolutely chaos. Just the amount of stunning is, everywhere you look, somebody's punching you in the face. But 4v4 really is a beautiful game, especially because of the regrabbing mechanic, as we were talking about. It's just it's set so nicely for double stacks. So
right.
But Plague taking round 1, and but coming back and doing some interesting things at the end there was Team Underground. So let's see what they decide to do, what they can do in round 2 here.
Yeah, absolutely. Just using these timeouts to their full advantage. I know, Doc, that's another one of the things that we do tend to talk about as well. I mean, I know we're getting very meta and very sports analysis at the moment, but that's kind of how it goes with Echo also. We've seen that progression of, all right, teams down, they have bad rounds. They're perfectly willing to take these timeouts now to ice the other team, or just to discuss, drink some water, those kind of things. Another carryover from sports. There's a lot of them. That's why Echo's a really different beast, and I'm always a first, and I think you can relate. Anytime we can spread that kind of good word, we'll tell people about it. Sports, you're gonna love Echo.
As soon as I played it, I have just been captivated. I ended up, yeah, my partner was like, showed me this game. She was like, hey, you know, you're in 0G and you're pushing off and, you know, you're doing these things as these players do come in. Beautiful. Oh, it looks like we have 4 players on Plague and 2 on Underground. Huh.
Huh is right. Well, by the books, I don't believe this match or this round would be legitimate in that case. 2v4 cannot be a thing. With that said, rolling with it, I suppose. I do know there's, for other people wondering where some matchups are going to be tonight, we will have on channel 1 and 2 in the next half hour some equally highly hype-voted matches, just by the by. Will be... You know, Spaghetti is there as well as Overkill. Can't remember the exact order of their matches here, but let's see. Spaghetti and Ignite, that is to say, on Channel 1 in about half an hour from now. And over on Channel 2 here, we do have Overkill and Redshift, and both of those matches, again, quite hype-voted, suffice to say. As getting another 2-point score there, but suffice to say, not sure this counts either, so regardless. With that, if we don't get too much communication from these teams at this point, may have to just wind down the stream purely based on a technical default, as this match, rest of this match would be at this point. But yeah, not being able to field enough players would cause some issues. And as I say that, Eric does get back in the game, but so we will continue with it for the moment. Although a little bit scrambled on exactly what's going to become of this round. Nonetheless, a 3 will come in for Zuko.
Well, yeah, Zuko not giving up, Plague not giving up. Yeah, the rules do stay. You cannot start a round with less than 3 rostered players, and it's worded exactly like that for a reason. You can start a round with 3, and then 1 can drop, and you can continue on. But you must start the round with 3 rostered players. So we are not mods and not here to issue a ruling or make a judgment on possible punishment. But that's just clarification for everyone. That is what the rulebook states.
Yeah, of course. And like I said, it won't be that much of an issue here in terms of stream delays or anything like that. There is not another cast happening right now that we'd be missing otherwise, but just out of consideration for all the teams that we do have on streams each evening, it's definitely good to know the rules before the matches, just so things can be smooth for everyone involved. That was quite the hit there from MG. That was 360. Won't deny, despite the weird situation we've got here, that was quite the goal off that spin move, tornado style.
Yeah, that one, the last 3-pointer by Zuko, both very fine examples. So let's see what Underground can do. They send 2 forward. Oh, nice duck there by 999. Disc is out into the bubble of Plague, but picking it up is the 4-man team, and MG with the disc now.
All right, well, MG in the tunnel now eyeing down maybe that boop shot. The bounce shots will be a little off, not too much, and self-goal will be had. I feel like there may be some DQs on the way, even more yet. I want to say, too, like, I understand the frustration. This was actually a topic that we had of discussion on the stream just yesterday. In fact, I mentioned I'll never fault a team for having human emotions, because even as much as I was known back in my playing days as being one of the cooler heads in the game and who didn't let stuff like that tilt me, even I still had my bad moments, and my teammates could verify. So on one hand, I'll never fault a team for doing stuff like this and getting in those modes. It's going to happen. But at the same time, can't also ignore the fact that it did happen. And, you know, going to be one of those times where Underground, they got off to a rough start here in this round. Even rougher yet because of the 3v3 situation and then dropping a player going 2v4. So the situation is tough. That I empathize with for sure. But, you know, you got to know how to just come back from it and wipe off the slate at the same time, because end of the day, having rounds like that and then having those kinds of those kinds of showings on stream for everyone tuning in to watch, and especially considering all the teams who could have been streamed instead in your place, right? You got to consider we have 400 other teams out there, so you got to consider the other players that are involved in these matches, right? And who would love the opportunity to be streamed. But with that, my tangent has ended. You know, hopefully a better time next time around, Doc.
Yeah, and it looks like at least most of the folks from Underground are continuing on at this point. So here we go. There's 4.5 minutes left, and the four-man team is up 11-5. Some nice stunning there by 999. That's a shot, but Penguin Icy able to get it and send it over to Zuko. All afire, and Zuko sends it in. Actually, that's a shot. Oh, just barely off the iron. That was a nice shot.
Oh, that was. I mean, we've seen some for sure some highlight plays here taken away, but this game just getting a little out of hand here, as it will be handed back to Penguin on the midfield thanks to that interception. They're going to play this back. Certainly feeling confident in their game with a Dusty there just as well, trying to pass that off, but it does take a rough ricochet. So 4 minutes left in this interesting round as Zuko continuing to dodge.
Penguin Icy making a pass, so still some nice team play here by Plague. They're not just kind of going one-on-one. Some nice passing, some nice spacing that we're seeing. Penguin Icy under a little bit of pressure. Beautiful sideways pass to Mimsy. Mimsy trying to find some Geo. Does. Maybe they might look for Zuko. Maybe that was a bounce pass for Zuko, but a little bit off. That clear is good. Let's see whose stack gets together fastest.
Oh, really close to that goal. That's going to bounce right into the outer edge. Rebound there, just missing the arms of Eric, so that will enable Zuko to overtake. Ran it off the dome, but being stunned in said dome also fault with that stun and knocked loose into the trap. 3 minutes remaining. Honestly, Doc, you take away some of the weirdness of this round and the self-goal and things like that, and I mean, this would be a close round, honestly. But it's just gotten a bit out of hand as Zuko now just content to allow his teammates to float into the top of the floor, and will be an interception once again.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lesson for everyone, because you can get tilted on anything. You know, you can get tilted on, obviously, having to go 3v4 and having things not go your way.
Yeah.
You can also get tilted on just all sorts of things in the game or outside of the game, and you see it time and time again in every sport, where the team that keeps their mental focus, the team that pulls each other up and pulls each other together, is the team that often comes through, for a comeback, for an upset, for whatever it is. So just a lesson, a teaching moment, or just a learning moment. And right there, Faults with the assist by Fats Dude Eric. What beautiful shot, and a great rebound and score.
Yeah, and the thing is, I've seen enough from these teams in the first round when it was 3v3 all the way through to say that had this been a 4v4 game or just kind of stayed at least 3v3, we saw both teams can definitely play. Their players can play. That much is obvious, but just unable to find their rhythm here at all. And again, I think that the 2v4 is what really threw things off for Team Underground to start off the round, and just kind of discouraged them to the degree that we've seen. And yeah, now just kind of playing the last minutes by technicality, but obviously in a comfortable position is Plague.
Comfortable, minute and 20 seconds, 8 points. It's at least 3 goals, which leaves about 5 seconds of time, although looks like we do see a timeout. Not quite sure what the plan is here, but we'll find out for you. Both teams do still have a technical timeout for this round.
Yeah.
You get one per game. I don't think that Underground has used theirs, but maybe they did. Anyway, again, we're not mods, although it does look like Fast Food Eric has jumped over to the Plague side for a conversation of some sort. Yeah,
and I have no idea. Maybe a case where they want to forfeit the last minute. Again, the legitimacy of this round is already a little bit in question. We're not mods once more, but just on the rules side of things. It was an illegal start to begin this second round, so not sure how that will all unfold, but with that, we, again, just move on to another day. You'll have these kind of matches sometimes, and I do empathize, because just as someone who, again, when I was playing and my team was kind of known for being really particular about certain issues and pings and this and that, and things happen sometimes. So whenever I get into these situations, I have the unique angle of being able to be both frustrated as a caster, but also empathetic as a former player who was in those positions and kind of understood that whole aspect of the game. So I can't be too mad, but I can say there's a lot of takeaways here in terms of, you know, mental game improvement, I think. And hopefully, if and when we do get a chance to stream these two teams again, it'll be a much more pleasant experience for all involved next time around.
Absolutely. Moogle going to warm up as these teams cool down. And 45 seconds left. Maybe another little score. Oh, Zuko going for the bottom pocket. Can't quite find it. Penguin Icy can't quite find the pocket on that side either. Zuko making a pass out. MG gonna hang on to it. Pass over to Zuko. Takes them off the Geo there. 30 seconds with the bounce pass. Send it to the shoulder again. Zuko maybe gonna cut in. Yes, but just a little bit low.
Yeah, dinged a couple different times. I'm not sure how that did not go through, but regardless, they'll have one more shot at this one to maybe secure this game and the final 10 seconds. But Eric slings it out to the midline. That'll bounce around just a bit, and with one more fling, perhaps, if they get this one off, they may have the goal. No, it's over. And that will be 2 rounds, one way or the other, going the side of Plague on the blue team.
Well, I think enough has been said. Plague does get the win, so credit to them for, showing up, playing with the 3 that they had, bringing in the 4th when the 4th was available, and not sure what was keeping them out before, but they did end up fielding their 4th and finishing the match and winning it. So yeah, nice work, Plague. And as you mentioned, hopefully Team Underground is gonna rebound from this, learn some lessons about organization or whatever it takes to bring the 4 onto the field at the right time and be back in action and hopefully get casted again and
Because again, you look 6-4 record for Underground and Plague. Well, they'll be 4-2 now. So 6-5 and then 4-2, but both respectable records for sure. More wins than losses at the point. So I don't think this is indicative of the normal performance. It's just one of those games, those cursed games that you get every now and then. As I'm sure these teams will both had acknowledged in their own chats. It's a little bit scuffed, but in a league full of 400 teams, several thousand players, and matches 24/7, it's gonna happen. So what can you do? Just like I said, wipe it off the slate, come back another day even stronger. So thanks again to everyone who watched. Anyone who does want to watch more VRML, of course, we have an evening still chock full of matches for you. Especially in half an hour, again, we'll have Overkill and Redshift here on this channel. In fact, that's in 20 minutes from now. As well as Spaghetti versus Ignite over on Channel 1, which is no doubt going to be a hotly anticipated match dating back to last season when Spaghetti, albeit with a different roster somewhat, Spaghetti was considered one of the teams who could potentially upset Ignite at some point, in finals or going into future seasons. So Spaghetti earning their way back into Master Tier after the last Challengers Cup just this past weekend. Tall task ahead of them, but that one's going to be highly hyped, no doubt, Doc.
It's going to be amazing. It's by both of those games, Spaghetti Ignite, and then the one that you and I are doing at the same time, which is Overkill versus Redshift. Lots of interesting stories there. Overkill obviously coming just a little bit short, so close. If you haven't seen the Overkill Anomaly game from the Challengers Cup, that is an instant classic. Yep. Absolutely amazing game. Overkill came so very close to punching their master ticket, so they will be hungry to start the second cycle and get back into that Challengers Cup and get into Master for the finals. And Redshift, of course, trying to get back into the Master Tier and with players that absolutely can do it. So, a lot of storylines on both of those games, and highly recommend just to turn them both on.
This is why I say, especially for these primetime nights with these matches, why No matter who you are, no matter where you are, which channel you are, if you're live or in the VOD, you can't go wrong. You're in the right place, always, with VRML. So, on that note, I've been Palidore, that's been DocEducation casting right beside me, and again, 17 minutes from now, Channel 1, Channel 2, be in one, be in both. We're going to see you there. Be happy, healthy, safe, though, and good to each other until then, and even thereafter, and we'll see you again really soon. Season 4 of VRML Echo Arena is brought to you by HyperX, Asterion Products, VRware, Rebuff Reality, VR Cover, and ProTube VR.